The Joker had long since been an agent of chaos, mixing garish, loony displays with unnerving malevolence. But in 2008's The Dark Knight, that sense of chaos found both an ideological weight under Christopher Nolan's hand and a captivating avatar in Heath Ledger's interpretation that extended the Joker's reach and influence beyond what anyone involved could have imagined. The trouble is that Ledger's Joker also left an unfortunate legacy of fans who were enraptured by the character's magnetic presence, but who forgot, or willfully ignored, that he was supposed to be the bad guy. In the 10 years since The Dark Knight was released, that particular incarnation of the character has become a mascot of disruption for disruption's sake, of callous teenage nihilism and online dating, whose impact has run in direct and indirect ways, from a movie theater in Aurora, Colorado, to the White House. If a charismatic villain is too effective, you run the risk of not just compelling the audience, but swaying it. The Joker is still a murderous psychopath in The Dark Knight, but in a way that's larger than life, with the gaze of Nolan's camera and the draw of Ledger's charisma making the grease paint-decked madman seem intimate and yet also distant, safe enough to be a tragic hero for the wrong crowd. In the process, the film cemented a pop cultural icon who became an enduring influence in the popular consciousness writ large. The Dark Knight arrived on the cusp of the Great Recession, the perfect time for people to channel their scorn for a world whose grand order had seemingly betrayed them.
Our economy is facing a moment of great challenge, but we've overcome tough challenges before.
There have always been icons for the disaffected, and Joker's message that the rules are bullshit, that the freak shall inherit the earth, and that it's all meaningless, so you may as well expose that fact however you see fit, is a well-worn if persistent one. That mentality, which bucks any attempt to impose order, found particular purchase in a growing number of young men who found themselves coming of age in a society that they felt had no place for them. The Joker's notion that, when the chips are down and the lights are off, people will eat each other, is subverted by the most powerful moment in the movie. Joker means for his grand finale in the Battle for Gotham's Soul to be a demonstration of the evil that lies in the hearts of men. He plants explosives on one boat full of prisoners and another on a boat full of civilians. Each boat is given a trigger connected to the bombs on the other, with the promise that whichever group hits theirs first will get to live while the others will die. It's a terrifying thought experiment made real, designed to prove that when you strip away the comforts and security the modern world claims to provide, the common man is capable of uncommon cruelty in the name of self-preservation. However, his plan fails, not because Batman swoops in to save the day, but because both the prisoners and the civilians would rather die nobly than kill to save their own skins. It's the beginning of the end of Joker's deranged crusade. Joker may prove his one bad day hypothesis with Harvey Dent, but he doesn't break Gotham, or even Batman for that matter. The titular Dark Knight chooses to save his foe, rather than break his one rule, even as Joker goads him to his limits. But mercy is never as cool as vengeance. Thousands of fans walked away from The Dark Knight less wowed by the fortitude of its eponymous hero, or the city that birthed him, than they were enraptured by the seductions of a self-professed maniac, who told them that nothing really mattered. That's because the Joker of The Dark Knight offered them that easy answer, an answer that doesn't ask you to change, that doesn't ask you to be your better self, that doesn't ask you to take responsibility for anything. Instead, it offers just the opposite, the freedom to do whatever you want, wreck whoever you want, hurt whomever you want, because it's all bullshit anyway, and anyone who doesn't see that is just part of the problem. As the scope of that disillusionment grew wider, as the easy answers started to seem all the more appealing to an audience desperate for them, the world began to look more and more like the one Joker presaged than the one that Batman dreamt after. That's not the fault of a single film, its director, or its star. Ledger's Joker simply emerged at the right time, in the right way, to appeal to an ugly part of our society that was starting to metastasize, and which found, true to the spirit of Nolan's Batman, its own everlasting symbol. It's the symbol that was adopted by the killer who took innocent lives at a theater in Colorado and declared that the message is, there is no message. It can be seen in the cheering section of nihilist trolls who help fuel the latest object of their affections to the highest office of the land. It can be seen in the fraying fabric between us, the kind that could only provoke an upturned corner in a Glasgow smile. The power of a compelling villain is a good thing, especially when its interpretation is singular as Ledger's. But with the wrong fanbase and the wrong lessons learned, it can also make the real world worse, in ways that resonates years after the credits roll. The Joker of The Dark Knight may have failed to expose the black heart of Gotham, but his greatest trick of all might have been shining a light on the lost souls on the other side of the screen, who wished he could be their champion.